this question's been in my mind for a while, but what do y'all think is the best generation of Magic? Okay, well, for starters, define generation. Okay, so I personally have decided on 4 different timestamps for 4 different generations. We have 1993 to 2003, which I call the birth generation, which encompasses the entirety of Old Border, so Invasion, Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, Urza Saga block, all those sets. We have 2004 to 2014, which I call the new generation, signposted by the fact that this is when we got all of the new frames for cards. This would include Zendikar block, Phyrexia block, Time Spiral block, all of those. I have 2015 to 2019, which I call the Gatewatch era, which is, you guessed it, Magic Origins up to War of Spark. How surprising. And finally, we have 2020 to now, which I call the expanding era, signposted by the fact that this is when Magic has gone more experimental than ever, with UB, Edge of Eternities, genres that Magic really hasn't dabbled in before, and would also encompass the Mars of the Machine arc and the Omen Path arc. Okay, hang on. Why does Gatewatch, of all things, get its own generation of only 5 years? So I think Gatewatch era's most defining factor is that it is, to this day, Wizards' best attempt at telling a actually cohesive story happening between planes as we move from set to set. For example, can you honestly tell me why we went from Call Time to Strixhaven in Expanding Gen? Okay, wait a minute. Birth Gen had a story too. It was way more cohesive in Gatewatch with Urza and all them. So I agree, but keep in mind, like, 85% of the story of Birth Gen takes place on a single plane, Dominaria. It's like Birth Gen story is like how Lord of the Rings connects to The Hobbit, whereas Gatewatch Gen story is like the MCU. Okay, that's fair. That's true, actually. Now, before any of y'all start vouching any which way, I gotta get this out. Because in 2004 to 2014, New Gen, we had this generational run of blocks. Time Spiral, Lorwyn, Alara, Zendikar, New Phyrexia, and Innistrad. That was a back-to-back generational run of block sets, bro, minus the core sets. But dude, come on, bro, that was legendary. I mean, if you want to talk generational, bro, Final Fantasy made what Lord of the Rings made in 6 months in a single day. That is true.
Yep,
You want to talk
generational.
Come on. That's generational right there. You know, this topic should really be a 3-hour-long video, not a 3-minute short, right? Yeah, maybe someday.